He stayed sober. He gave interviews. He laughed about the past. In 2014, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the original Kiss lineup. Ace Frehley, The Life and Death. Paul Daniel Frehley, also known as Ace Frehley, is dead. He died on October 16, 2025, in Morristown, New Jersey. He was 74 years old. The cause: complications from a fall on September 21, 2025. That led to a brain bleed. He slipped while stepping off a riser. He hit his head and was rushed to the hospital with a brain bleed. He was in a recording studio in Morristown, New Jersey, working on what was rumored to be a final solo album. He was placed on life support, and he never regained consciousness. He had been hospitalized for weeks. His family was by his side when he passed. Ace Frehley wasn't just a guitarist. He was the original lead guitarist and a founding member of Kiss. He was the Spaceman, the silver-suited, platform-booted, smoke-spewing guitar god who helped define one of the most theatrical, polarizing, and successful rock bands in history. Born April 27, 1951, in the Bronx, New York City, Frehley was raised in a working-class family. He got his first electric guitar at age 13. By 16, he was skipping school and playing in local bands. He was self-taught, raw, loud, unapologetic. In 1972, he answered a Village Voice ad placed by Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley. They were forming a new band. He showed up wearing one red sneaker and one orange. They thought he was weird. Then he plugged in. And that was it. Kiss was born in 1973. The original lineup: Gene Simmons on bass, Paul Stanley on rhythm guitar, Peter Criss on drums, and Ace Frehley on lead. They weren't just a band. They were a brand. Black and white face paint, pyrotechnics, blood, fire, bombast. And behind the makeup, Frehley was the quiet one, the reluctant star. But on stage, he was electric. His solos were melodic, spacey, and full of swagger. He made his guitar smoke, actually, quite literally. He was the first guitarist to have a signature Les Paul that emitted smoke and shot rockets. He didn't just play the Spaceman, he embodied it. Kiss really exploded in the mid-70s. They released several studio albums between 1975 and 1979, including Dressed to Kill in 1975, as well as Alive, Destroyer in 1976, as well as Rock and Roll Over, Love Gun in 1977, and Dynasty in 1979. This period also saw the release of the live album Alive 2 in 1977, and the Greatest Hits compilation Double Platinum in 1978. The band also released 4 solo albums simultaneously in 1978, and Kiss received numerous gold and platinum awards, holding more gold album awards than any other American band. According to the Recording Industry Association of America, the band has earned 30 gold albums, 14 platinum albums, and 3 multi-platinum albums. Frehley's signature song, Shock Me, came in 1977. It was inspired by an onstage electrocution he survived. He sang it himself. It became a fan favorite. It happened on December 12, 1976, during Kiss's Rock and Roll Over tour in Lakeland, Florida. Frehley grabbed a metal railing that wasn't grounded. A surge of electricity shot through his body. He collapsed. His hand was burned. His fingers went numb. He was rushed backstage, pale, shaken. But after a short break, he returned and finished the show. No theatrics, no makeup touch-ups, just raw defiance. That moment became legend. And Shock Me was his response. His first lead vocal. A tongue-in-cheek anthem born from trauma. Fans didn't just hear the riff, they felt the survival. But, behind the scenes, Frehley was spiraling. Alcohol, cocaine, pills. He was often late, sometimes absent. He clashed with Simmons and Stanley over creative control. He hated the merchandising, The dolls, the lunchboxes, the wine, the Mount Kissmore, the pinball machine, the record player, the trivia game, and even a coffin. Just to name a few items. The disco turn Kiss took in the late 70s. He wanted to play rock and roll. In 1982, after years of tension, Ace Frehley quit Kiss. He was replaced by Vinnie Vincent, which I have to say is interesting enough to warrant a video about him. But Frehley wasn't done. In 1987, he launched Frehley's Comet. The debut album charted. The single Into the Night got airplay, but the momentum faded. He released solo albums throughout the 90s, including Trouble Walkin' and Anomaly. They were raw, guitar-driven, and unapologetically Ace. In 1996, he rejoined Kiss for the original lineup reunion tour. It was massive: stadiums, fire, makeup, money. But the old tensions returned. He left again in 2002. In the years that followed, Frehley stayed active. He released Space Invader in 2014, which hit number 9 on the Billboard 200. It was his highest-charting solo album ever. He toured relentlessly. He stayed sober. He gave interviews. He laughed about the past. In 2014, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the original Kiss lineup. But even then, the band didn't perform together. The wounds never fully healed. Frehley's final years were quieter. He lived in New Jersey. He recorded. He painted. He canceled tour dates in 2025 due to health issues. Then came the fall. He hit his head. He was placed on life support. And he never recovered. His daughter released a statement that read, "We are completely devastated and heartbroken. In his last moments, we were fortunate enough to have been able to surround him with loving, caring, peaceful words, thoughts, prayers, and intentions as he left this earth. We cherish all of his finest memories, his laughter, and celebrate his strengths and kindness that he bestowed upon others. The magnitude of his passing is of epic proportions and beyond comprehension." Reflecting on all of his incredible life achievements, Ace's memory will continue to live on forever. Ace Frehley wasn't perfect. He was chaotic. He was late. He was loud. But he was real. He was the sound of a generation's rebellion. He was the flash of silver in a black stage fog. He was the riff that made you pick up a guitar. He was the Spaceman. And now he's gone. But the echo of his Les Paul still rings. In every dive bar, every arena, every kid learning their first solo. Ace Frehley is survived by his estranged wife, Jeanette Trerotola, and their daughter, Monique Frehley. Though his marriage ended decades ago, Monique remained a constant presence in his life, a grounding force through the chaos of fame, addiction, and reinvention. In his final days, Frehley was surrounded by family. They were there when he passed. They spoke peaceful words. They held his hand. They honored the man behind the mask. Ace Frehley didn't just leave behind riffs and records. He left behind a family, a legacy, a generation of fans who saw themselves in the Spaceman, and a daughter who saw the man beneath the makeup. Ace Frehley didn't just play rock and roll. He lived it, and he died with it in his blood. Rest in paradise, Space Ace.